How do we connect with people? How do we decide who we are friends with and who we are not friends with? Today's topic is friendship. Join us as we speak with a few people about how they maintain positive friendships and what friendship means to them on Between Generations.
Welcome to Between Generations. I'm Buddy Rodriguez, and today we're talking about friendships. I'm sitting here with three lovely ladies, and we will introduce.
Years. Long time.
A long time.
3 decades. All right, Risha, I'm gonna ask you this question first. How did y'all meet?
Well, I met Sharon. We grew up in the hood together.
Okay.
The hood of Sapulpa. So Sharon is probably the longest friend I have on earth. We probably have a 40+ year friendship. So we used to sit on the green meter together and play. And then Carol, I have known, we were kids, really little kids. We lived on top of the hill together when we moved on top of the hill.
Okay.
Progression.
And then Carol and I played basketball together and really found out we were related later.
Okay.
We've been friends almost close to 40 years as well.
A long time.
Yeah. Sharon, we've had this conversation. I've heard how you've talked about it. So, what is your recollection on how y'all met?
So Risha and I have been friends the longest. We used to live in a complex in Sapulpa together, somewhere in between Cabrini Green and Beverly Hills 90210. That's where we grew up.
Okay.
So we used to hang out on this thing because, back in the 70s, we didn't really have a lot of toys. And there was not a lot of places that our parents allowed us to hang out. But we used to hang out on this electric meter called the green meter. Thank God our lives were spared and we didn't get any radiation. But the green meter used to be where we hung out. And if you guys would come to the gathering place, we went to the green meter.
And the park was right there. I don't know why we didn't go to the park.
We sat in the transformer.
On a transformer.
Yeah, the transformer.
That's exactly what it was.
Radiation.
So during this 30 to 40 year friendship, how do you maintain this friendship?
It looks like I'll be able to take that question since I can't share the same similarities of being on the green meter. But I think that it's because of our relationships. I mean, we can probably go like a week, 2 weeks without talking, but we never miss a beat. So each friend brings something different to the table. And I just think we just maintain that, especially through texting, group messaging, phone calls, and stuff like that.
I think though, over the years, we've really, there have been times where we didn't talk for a few years, like we just life happened.
Yeah.
But to Carol's point, whenever we run into each other, never miss a beat. We pick up right where we left off. So there was a few years after Carol got married, I didn't see her. Then Sharon moved to Tulsa, and I didn't see her for a lot of years. But I've always considered them the best of friends, and we always show up for each other. Always.
And I think to capitalize on what they both said, you do grow up together, and then we kind of find our way and move about the world. But it's because of that foundation of friendship, and that we come from the same areas, right? So our families know each other, and then we're always there to support each other. So no matter how far we go, no matter what the situation is, we always come back for each other.
That's beautiful, man. That's wait and exhale type stuff.
Basically.
We will ride out for each
Yeah,
other too
yeah.
now. If something go down.
So,
We anything.
so Carol is out there setting somebody's car on fire
Yeah,
with all
we
the tools
riding
in
out.
there, y'all there with it.
Yeah, me and Carol have actually had to take a ride.
All right, let's move on.
Right.
I want to be
Right.
We
No
don't-
accessories,
and
no
if we still
accessories.
got these cases pending, we need to talk about it. So I want to kind of go back to the first question. So y'all met. Like, what was the thing that drew you all towards each other? Was it the personalities? Was it the similarities? Was it the differences?
So Risha and I again lived in the same apartment complex, and our parents were friends.
Okay.
We were all around the same age, so I think it was just when your parents are friends with people, you become friends with people, and maybe our personalities is what kept us close, because you can be friends with people and still don't have the same personalities and like each other. But I think it was just, I mean, we kind of always clicked. There was a lot of kids in that neighborhood, but I mean, I can remember Risha and only a few others that I probably maintained friendships with.
Well, her brother had a crush on me too, so she was trying to check me out, see if I was worthy.
I think it had to do with the community. You
It's
know, it
the
was only a
community.
select
Shout
few.
out Tony Baker.
I'm sorry. It was only a select few that we grew up with, honestly, too, though. I mean, it was just a select few in our community, and plus we all went to school together. We went to a small school, and we just knew each other. So it was like just a common bond. It was, I guess it was like, we just had to be friends.
Right.
Basically.
So she's right. We went to a small school. So the school system we went in had maybe 15 black people, and either half of them were your cousins or they were your play cousins, and they became your friends and family. And the ones that came from the outside schools, you're like, ooh, look at them. Them some new black folks. So we're gonna be friends with them. And so that's how it happened. You kind of link together.
With Carol too was basketball. Like we started playing basketball together really young, and then they were a couple of years older than me. So when I started driving, I had to go pick Carol up in order to drive because I have my permit.
Yeah.
So I had to take Carol everywhere just so I could move around.
Yeah, and our parents trusted us.
Okay.
They trusted us because you look at it now, there's no way in the world I would let my kid have another friend teach them how to drive. And I'll never forget, her dad said, Carol,
Pause. Who taught who how to drive?
I taught Risha how to drive.
She was in the car.
And her daddy bought her a car
At
before
14.
she could even drive the car. So, because I had my license and was driving,
I always had to
he
pick somebody
trusted
up.
me.
But see, she just needed to ride out to this one neighborhood for somebody that she liked, and then I had to take her out there.
Do we want to
I ain't
know
gonna
who
bring
you?
them up,
I was gonna say, do we want to
you
know?
We just
She
rode
made
together.
me ride out there. She made me drive out there in order to go somewhere with me. I had to take a.
And again, we were kids. We were high school kids.
Yeah, look at that.
And so
Wait,
we didn't even know what liked me.
She's setting the time zone. She's setting the timeline. High school kids. I think we were like 8th,
Yeah,
9th
so
grade.
Whoever that was definitely gonna be looking at this now.
Right.
All right.
Keeping it
Hope
alive.
not.
That's why I didn't mention where or none of that stuff.
But I was able to teach her how to drive. And so we just bonded.
But I love being with them because we have so much fun. What I noticed as I got older is, or a lot of people, they get together like we getting ready to drink, we getting ready to smoke here. We on a natural high all the time. We are laughing, like doubled over laughing. And it's stupid stuff.
It's
but,
just the chemistry.
But
It's-
but we don't need anything to have a good time with each other.
That's nice.
We made a post one time of our group, and one of the comments said, "Why are y'all singing church songs and y'all are getting drunk?" And we were like, "There's no alcohol even here." You know, that was just us. And so people probably think we're a little different, but it's just all about fun.
Because every year around Christmas we do a song. and we post it on Facebook.
COVID's gonna stop us this year.
No, we're gonna do it on Zoom.
On
gonna-
Zoom?
Record our song on Zoom.
I'm gonna ask for this song later. I can't get it now.
It's not a specific song.
No, it's just whatever hit
we
us.
just
Look, what hit us in the spirit?
yeah.
So it's the Temptations Christmas song, Silent Night.
It's whatever.
What hit us
Yes,
in
it's
the
whatever hits us.
Wonder.
Whatever hits us.
That is
We
man.
did. That's what friends are for, right?
Yeah, but we did. But our musician's not here today.
Right. He ain't here.
All right. So, when I'm guessing you all are taken, right?
Yeah.
I used to be as of recent.
Oh.
Recently.
Shout out. Risha's on. Okay, never mind.
All right.
Black Planet.
We're all
But no. So when you all got with your respective spouses, how did that impact the friendships? Did it benefit it, or did it kind of like?
Well, so I'll say this, like to Risha's point, we all kind of got in situations or relationships in different phases of our life. And with each relationship, you kind of have to focus on your relationship. So I think so the time where Risha talked about that we really didn't speak it much, that's when we were getting married or having kids and trying to find our way in that area. And so once you go that route, kind of get that foundation together, figure out what your relationships are like, then I think it'll allow for us to come back together. But I think that's the time we were kind of not as active in each other's relationships as when we were trying to focus on future things.
I can give a perfect example, and I don't know if you remember this. Shwan and I had drifted, again, trying to figure life out. We all went in different directions. And probably 3 years ago, you sent me a picture of a card she had sent to me. Was that for my birthday? It was for my birthday. Mother's Day.
Uh-huh.
I obviously had a child. I was a mother. And she had sent a card to me probably back in 98, 99.
Yeah, it was like 20 years old.
Yeah. And it returned to her. And she had, and she sent that to me 3 years ago. Look at this. So the connection, the bond, it was always there. She tried to reach out. So obviously I had moved to a
New house. I moved to my old house. And I moved.
I want to mention this. You talked about relationships. One of the things that kept me away, so at some point, I started dating women. And we grew up. Shut up. We grew up very Christian, very religious, and all that. And part of me breaking away from my friendship was not knowing if they were going to accept me. And that was a really difficult time, because on one hand I had to think, well, if they don't accept me, then they only love me conditionally if I am exactly who they want me to be. But on the other hand, I'm going to lose people that I've loved my entire life. I had to give them a chance to show up, and they showed up. And what I love about Carol, she took me to lunch, was like, look, you just need to I just need to know, tell me, because I don't, and then I just love them.
That was it. I mean, I'll never forget that conversation. I knew how distant you had gotten. And I'm like, girl, please, I know what you're doing. Let's talk. Let's just get this out there. Remember that?
I love them for that, because I was going through a really difficult time, and it felt really isolated. And they didn't care.
No.
They're good people. They
That's
go my
your
nerves, but they're good people.
Still don't care.
Still don't. That's you.
All right. That's dope.
Yes.
That's dope.
It is.
Over everything, that's dope. I want to touch back on that, but we're gonna move on to the next question real quick. And this is probably the most important question of this interview. But I'm gonna start with her first.
Okay.
Because I want to get y'all's perspective on this. But after all of these years, would you say that you all still liked each other?
Yes, and then when we don't, sometimes we don't, but when we don't like each other, we love each other, and that always trumps anything that we go through. We figure it out. It's not worth it.
Gotcha.
It's not worth it. So
Now see, that's beautiful, and that is the Facebook meme inspirational response that I was expecting.
It's
from
true.
me,
And I love it. Yes.
Right, go ahead.
So
get
now,
It's true.
when we venture to this dynamic right here, I definitely want to know, after all of these years, do y'all still like each other?
Yes, I like her. What's the date? Yes.
It's Saturday.
So you do not have friends with people for a long time and not have ups and downs in your friendships. The fact that you still can come back is the beauty of friendship. I'm 36, she's 66. In those years, there's things that happen. But what's important is our foundation and that we love each other. Yes. I mean, there are times where I would probably egg her house by her husband. We'll talk about that later. But I love her.
And she's right. I have probably been pulled by my coattail a couple of times, because I am more the, I don't know how to explain it. I can take constructive criticism. I joke a lot. But Sharon and I, it doesn't matter. We can argue after we leave out of here. And
Guaranteed
I'm still going to
argument.
call her tomorrow. Hey, what are you going to wear?
Yeah.
What are you cooking? What are you? It just because we have those moments, it's seriously, they're like my sisters. I'm from a big family. I'm a family of 8. And so I'm the baby of the family. And a lot of people say the baby of the family, they want their way. And I think
And I'm the
everybody's
oldest in my family,
personality
so she don't get to have her way.
clicks into this friendship as well. So we know each other. But we do. We have our moments. We have our definitely our disagreements. But the next day, hey, okay, we need to talk. And I think that's what it's all about. And if a friend does not respond, we're either knocking on the door or we're calling or we're in a group text, are you okay? What is going on? Do you need a couple of days? And it's about a certain level of respect that we give each other. If we know we're having a bad moment, we'll say that. You know, only true friends can say that, but we don't ignore each other. You just can't ignore me and expect me not to think there's something wrong.
True. She ain't gonna let you ignore her.
So you like the psychopath girlfriend friend.
I don't think that is me.
I guess.
So I say, she's a married black female.
What does that mean?
Married black female equates to the single white female.
So I would say this: Carol checks on us. Now, Carol
It was
is
a
the
joke.
one to make sure that we stay together.
Yes, she will.
This is the last question.
Okay.
We ask everybody this at the end of the interviews, and we want to get y'all's input on it. So, what do you love about Tulsa? Start with Risha.
I love the people.
Mm-hmm.
I get to travel all over the world, and Tulsans are just friendly people. Like, so I just love the people. And maybe in Tulsa it's home. Sapulpa is home. So I can live anywhere, but I'll always come back here because of the people.
Sure.
I am going to piggyback on that. Tulsa is where home is, even if you've never lived here. It's the people. They're welcoming and loving. I've traveled several different places, but I've traveled to New York thinking New York was the height, and I saw the way they treated people. No offense to New Yorkers, but the way that the love that's shown in Tulsa, the care, the camaraderie that happens in Tulsa, just with strangers, you can't beat it. It may not be a place that you want to start out, but it's definitely a place that you come back to.
Gotcha.
And again, I agree with what they said, but I'm gonna have to touch on the economy. Tulsa is affordable. I'm a real estate agent here in this area, and you can afford to live here and still go get a plant-based burger. And a lot of people may want meat, but you can still do that. I'm sorry, but you can afford to live here, and everybody knows everybody. My kids will call me, and they're adults now, and they'll say, "Mom, I just ran into somebody that knew you or knew someone," and so everybody has your back, basically, here, because there's nothing they can do that I won't find out about.
Yeah.
And so Tulsa is home, and it's just a great place to live.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you for your time.
Thanks,
You've
buddy.
been awesome. Literally the whole time we've been here, off camera and on camera, I've been laughing. So I appreciate that. Keep the friendship, keep it tight. You continue being the glue, obviously.
Thank you.
You being the hilarious one. You the more conservative.
I'm not conservative, but I'm the equalizer.
Boom. All
Ooh,
right.
I like that.
I'm the equalizer.
And shout out to the other 5 who couldn't make it.
Yeah,
Yes.
shout out to our girls.
Hey,
Y'all would
Dee,
have never
Tanya,
got this done at all.
Yeah.
Unless it's shown up.
Donna, Kenya, Yolanda, we miss y'all.
You
Love
missed it,
y'all.
ladies.
Gang, gang.
Hey, friends.
Gang, gang.
Yeah.
Dee,
I'm Buddy
Tanya,
Rodriguez.
Saptown homies.
This is the Saptown Homies.
Donna, Yolanda,
And
Kenya.
This
Love
is
y'all.
Between Generations.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Between Generations. Friendship is a gift we must always cherish. Make sure to hug a friend today. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and press subscribe. Remember to hit all notifications so you don't miss a single episode. Again, I'm your host Malerie, and be sure to join us every other week on YouTube for Between Generations.